Welcome to Aging on the Suncoast. I'm your host, Jason Martino. Getting older isn't always easy. However, when we invest the time to evaluate our personal health and well-being, there's always something we can do to improve our quality of life. Falling is not a normal part of aging. As a matter of fact, the National Council on Aging purports that 1 in 4 seniors, 65 years or older, will have at least one fall per year. Falls are the leading cause of fatal and non-fatal injuries for older Americans. Additionally, let's talk about chronic disease. The National Council on Aging states about 80% of older adults have at least one chronic disease, and 68% have at least two. Even more, 16 million adults 65 and older are living with diabetes. Chronic diseases place a significant burden on individuals as well as healthcare systems. Are there ways we can prevent falls, manage chronic diseases, and lead healthy and active lifestyles? We think so. On today's show, we've invited Terry Toner, the Health and Wellness Coordinator with the Area Agency on Aging, and Joanne Cox, our volunteer Savvy Caregiver Trainer. Both of these health and wellness professionals will help us understand how to actively engage in a better quality of life through participation in evidence-based programs. Joanne, welcome back to Aging on Suncoast.
Thank you.
And Terry, welcome to Aging on the Suncoast. This is your first time, and we're very pleased to have you on here.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah. So Terry, we're gonna start with you a little bit. As an employee of the Area Agency on Aging, you know a little bit about what they do, but our audience may not. So who is the Area Agency on Aging?
We're a nonprofit organization that helps seniors with disabilities in our community.
Yeah. And what do we actually do? Are there other things that we do besides just help?
Well, we serve as the primary aging and resource center that is the focal point for providing aging and disability resources.
Yeah. And are there area agencies on aging all over the state of Florida?
There is,
Yeah.
Throughout the entire state to serve our senior population as thorough as we can.
Yeah, and I have to imagine that they have jurisdictions or different types of counties that they serve. What counties does the Area Agency on Aging that you work with serve?
Yes, so our office is in St. Petersburg, but we serve both Pasco and Pinellas counties.
Yeah, and is it easy for seniors to contact us?
Absolutely. They can reach us at our toll-free number, which is 800-963-5337, and dial option 1.
Good. You have a great memory, because sometimes when I go to try to remember that number, I really butcher it. And I've worked with the Area Agency for a number of years now, so I'm a little embarrassed by that fact on there. Certainly the Area Agency on Aging provides a litany of services that all with the mission to keep people at home for as long as possible. Can we do it alone?
No, we very much collaborate with partners and providers so that we can better able to deliver the services on a widespread fashion to the community.
Yep, and we work hand in hand with them. So thanks for the tutorial on the Area Agency on Aging.
Absolutely.
And hopefully our audience understands that, and certainly there's contact information to get a hold of us and learn even more. So, Joanne, I really wanted to kind of migrate over to you and your experience with the term I brought up in our monologue, evidence-based services. Can you help us understand what exactly is an evidence-based service?
Yes, Jason, these are services that are proven effective. They're the result of research, testing, and evaluation. They're not anecdotal or based on opinions or feelings. They're proven to be effective.
Yeah, and true. And why would the Area Agency on Aging be interested in providing these types of services?
One of the focuses of the agency is to keep people in their homes as long as possible. So these training courses provide that to prevent premature institutionalization and to give caregivers skills that they can assist individuals to stay healthy in a home-like setting as long as possible.
Yeah, and that makes great sense. Terry, going back to yourself, working closely with these evidence-based programs on here, there's probably a whole lot of evidence-based services that are around the nation, and certainly the Area Agency on Aging has the capacity to provide, not all of them obviously, but some of them. So which ones do we actually provide?
Well, we have our fall prevention program that's called A Matter of Balance. We also have our chronic disease self-management program, as well as through our partner, our enhanced fitness program.
Yeah, and I don't think that the Area Agency on Aging use their own money to provide these services. Is there specific funding that helps us to provide these in the community?
Yes, there is. We primarily utilize the Older Americans Act and the American Rescue Plan, and these are federal authorities that give grant monies to our agency to be able to bring these programs to you.
Yeah, and I'll say it again. I've said this a number of times on a lot of the shows that we do. The Older Americans Act of 1965 and amended throughout the years is such a wonderful piece of legislation. It really is the foundation of all the funding that we're able to provide in the community and with the partner network that we had talked about before. So how does any senior or older adult or caregiver or someone with a person with disabilities find out about these evidence-based services?
Well, on our website, agingflorida.org, and then also please just call us at our toll-free number, 800-963-5337 and option 1.
Yep, and those graphics will be shown throughout the show. agingcarefl.org is one, and the number that Terry said that I don't want to butcher right now. So I want to spend a little time today. We're going to go really in depth on a lot of the evidence-based services that the Area Agency on Aging provides in the community. And but I wanted to start with the Savvy Caregiver program. That program is near to dear to me, and it's also near and dear to Joanne, who I worked with very closely a long time ago to get this implemented and provided in there. So you really have been with this program since the get-go, and I value all your experience with that. So let's start with the basics. What is the Savvy Caregiver program?
It's a evidence-based program, training that focuses on caregiver knowledge, skills, and outlook. It's for individuals who are caregivers of those who are living in the community that are over age 60, that have a dementing illness.
Yeah, and we were going to talk about eligibility for that. So you said that the care recipient in this had to be over 60,
That's
correct?
Correct.
But the caregiver could be any age providing care to that person.
In the home, that's
Yeah.
right.
And then the other qualifier I think I heard you say is that the care recipient is currently living or in the process, going through the process of Alzheimer's disease or a related type of dementia, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is there a cost for the Savvy Caregiver program? Should somebody be saving their money to pay a tuition or something of that nature?
There's no cost involved.
How come?
A grant, and in keeping with the area agency's philosophy on providing in-home services to prevent institutionalization.
You're right, and the philosophy really comes right back out of the Older Americans Act, providing these services for free to individuals that are 60 and older. A lot of times when individuals are thinking about taking a course, whether it's a collegiate course or an evidence-based course, they really need to navigate, how long and their capacity actually to complete that course. Mm-hmm. How long is the Savvy Caregiver course?
It's a 2-hour class once a week for 6 weeks. And the times vary depending on, it could be in the late morning, afternoon, and we've done evening classes. So it's very flexible in terms of times, but it's 6 weeks and 2 hours classes.
That doesn't seem like that much at all to get all the value out of that course.
Yeah.
And thinking about my old college days, and most likely your college days as well, is that classes come in all shapes and sizes. I've had classes where I felt like it could fit a stadium in there, and then I've had some more unique classes where there was a smaller amount. How big is the class size for the Savvy Caregiver program?
Well, there's a lot of interaction. This is not a lecture course. Mm-hmm. We depend on the participants to share information. There's homework assignments, so there's a lot of involvement from the participants. So we like to have a minimum of 6 people and a maximum of 12, mm-hmm. so that everyone has a chance to interact and share information and ask questions.
Yeah, that makes great sense on there. And especially to have, if there's going to be an interaction point of view on there, and not just an instructor like yourself, just teaching people to that degree. Let's break down the Savvy Caregiver course just a little bit. What types of subjects do they talk about during that class? I don't want to give it all away because I want people to actually learn on it when they come to the actual course. But I think we could probably do a 30,000 foot view of what it offers.
Well, we talk about the types of dementia and the stages of dementia. We talk a lot about the role of confusion and how that impacts the behavior of the person suffering from a dementing illness. Designing appropriate activities for these individuals. We spend a lot of time on that, talking about what causes behaviors and things that they can do to prevent these confusing behaviors. Decision making is another topic that we go into quite a bit. Self-care, we spend a lot of time encouraging caregivers to take care of themselves, that they have to remain healthy physically, emotionally, mentally, so that they can be effective caregivers. Expanding family support and accessing community resources are areas that we talk about a lot.
Boy, you hit the nail on the head when it comes to self-care. I can't tell you how many caregivers that I've interacted with that really put the person that they're caring for first and don't meet their own needs that are there, and sometimes that reminder and the thought process of that can really help that person stay in there. Anything to add, Terry, in there? I mean, you have a great experience in the Savvy Caregiver program as well.
It is just a very excellent, well-balanced program that actually gives people the skills that they take home, they apply, and Joanne does a great job in facilitating in the next visit that they review how did it go, what worked, what didn't work, or what worked and maybe with some modification. And that lends itself to a collaborative environment between the teachers and the attendees.
Yeah.
It's a great course.
Yeah, there's no doubt that she does a good job with that course too.
And we always ask them, what did you do for yourself this past week? What did you do to benefit you? And it might have been 15 minutes that they did a meditation exercise, or they might have taken a weekend off, but we always focus on what did you do for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the balance. That's what's the beauty of the program, yeah.
Yeah. Now caregivers, they come in all sorts of shapes and sizes and ages as well on there. What's the, what does the type of individual look like that really benefits from this program? I mean, we said pretty clearly that they're caring for somebody that's living with Alzheimer's disease or related to dementia. What do the caregivers look like in your opinion?
Well, I think they come with the interest in learning better caregiving skills, learning about the disease that is affecting their loved one, how it impacts their behavior. What can they do to respectfully guide the behaviors of the individuals? And how to deal with families. Sometimes families are very supportive and sometimes they're not so supportive. So what are some techniques in dealing with these individuals and how to access resources in the community? So we have a full range of services, and people come wanting to know these things and wanting to learn. Yeah.
So speaking about coming, do we offer it at our office, or where do we offer these Savvy Caregiver courses?
We offer them in a variety of places in the community. Senior centers, libraries, churches, activity centers, various places that are easily accessible to the participants.
Would you agree or would you not agree that this course is not a support group?
It's not a support group per se, but all of the individuals who participate report support from each other. They learn from each other. They're the experts. We are just the facilitators. But it is not a support group, but they will get support. In fact, the last group we did became so close that they decided to continue meeting separately after the course was over. They formed that kind of a bond and were really close. But they get support, but it's not designed to be a support group. We do tell them what community resources that they can go to for support.
Yeah, that sounds like a really good mix. I'm so happy to have you guys on the show, and I'm going to see you on the second segment, and hang tight. Please stay with us while we take a short break. As usual, don't forget to have a pen and pencil ready. During the break and at the end of our show, we'll be running contact information for the Area Agency on Aging Helpline so you can learn more about these programs.
Many of us don't want to believe that elder abuse, neglect, or exploitation can happen to a family member, a friend, or even ourselves. Elder abuse is a growing problem and is severely underreported. Many victims are reluctant to report due to fear, embarrassment, shame, or guilt. In order to prevent elder abuse, we must take action. Don't be afraid to talk about the issue and report it to the Florida Abuse Hotline at 1-800-962-2873. Together, we can make a difference.
Welcome back to Aging on the Suncoast. During the first half of the show, Terry Toner and Joanne Cox helped us understand who the Area Agency on Aging is and what this agency does within our community. We also explored in depth what the Savvy Caregiver program is and its benefits to caregivers. So let's continue and take a deeper dive into more specific evidence-based courses. Joanne, welcome back to our second half of our show, and Terry, the same to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we took a little bit of time to go over who and what the Area Agency on Aging is, and then we really went in depth on the Savvy Caregiver program, a really big favorite course of mine. But we want to talk about some of the other cool courses that we offer as well, so people have a pretty good understanding, and maybe that'll help formulate questions when they actually do call the helpline. So let's start with a course called A Matter of Balance, Terry, and I'm going to lean on you with this one because you have a lot of experience with this course. What is the Matter of Balance program?
It's a great evidence-based fall prevention course that targets the fear of falling or any concerns around falling, coupled with an exercise program that addresses flexibility, balance, coordination, and strength.
That's a really good description of what it is. It's probably got a lot of moving parts in there as well, but that was a pretty darn good.
Literally.
Yeah. and why would the Area Agency on Aging want to provide a Matter of Balance course in the community?
Because this helps our seniors to be able to remain independent and active and address their concerns in a way that they can also engage in an exercise program that's reasonable for them to do anywhere.
Yeah, and similar to the Savvy Caregiver program, there are specific types of individuals that course really tailors the curriculum to. What types of individuals do you usually seek out for the A Matter of Balance course?
Any senior at all, age 60 or over, that has an interest in targeting these risks and being able to work with controlling them, as well as addressing any concern about a fear that they might have in falling.
Yeah. That's a good population to serve, huh? So mostly everyone, and we can get ahead of things because it's preventative, like you said, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Is this a full college course where it's 15 weeks of that, or how long is the actual course?
No, the course is only 8 weeks long, and it's done one time a week for 2 hours, or it can be done twice a week for 4 weeks at the same 2-hour time.
So there's some flexibility in there as well, huh?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's great. Similar question that I asked Joanne, and I think it's important to understand the class size. What's the class size look like in the A Matter of Balance course?
A minimum of 8 people up to a maximum of 12 people.
Yeah. Is that something that you just made up, or is that some guidance that was given to you?
No, it is definitely where the program is most effective. That, again, we've got a good a smaller group of seniors that we're able to communicate and share ideas.
Yeah. And where do people find these courses? Do they just look it up online, or is there a place to call? And
well, typically the courses are done at our local senior centers like the Enoch Davis Center, the Sunshine Center in St. Pete, as well as community centers, recreation centers, and as well, if there is a location that wants us to have the program performed at their location, all they have to do is call us at that 1-800-963-5337 number, option 1.
It's so good that we have so many cool partners in Pasco and Pinellas County. I mean, without them, we would not be able to really offer these courses in volume throughout both counties. And Pasco and Pinellas are apples and oranges when it comes to geography, and so to really help us lay out and serve people where they are is really, really important. Let's take a kind of a quick, deeper dive, and let's go into some of the overarching aspects of A Matter of Balance. Can you give us a pretty good illustration of what that is?
Yeah, absolutely. It is to help seniors view falls as controllable, manageable, and help them to be able to engage into a reasonable exercise program that can be done anywhere. And again, it addresses the physical abilities of being able to gain strength and balance.
Yep, and we said a little bit earlier that falls are not a normal part of aging.
That's
so
right.
There's certainly something in there if that person is experiencing falls, or I guess thinks that they're going to start to experience falls. Joanna and I, we talked about the cost of that program. It was pretty wonderful that the Savvy Caregiver program was a free course for them. Is that the same for A Matter of Balance?
Absolutely. Yes, there is no cost to the individual who wants to take part in these courses.
That's really great.
And we encourage that.
Yeah. So we talked a little bit about our partnerships, and one of the partnerships that I know that you know very well is with the YMCA of the Suncoast. And they help us with a certain evidence-based course. Which course is that?
Yes, that's Enhanced Fitness, and it is done in a group format, a group class format that really helps seniors maintain their energy and their activity, and thereby help with their ongoing independence.
Yeah, and like we were saying earlier, this is strictly through a partnership of ours.
Yes.
The Y provides that with their partnerships in the community and sometimes on their campuses as well. How does, if someone was interested in the Enhanced Fitness course, and we'll may go in depth of what it is, how would they find out more information about that?
Yes, just call your local YMCA location, and then as well it's being offered, as you mentioned, through the partner, which is the Clearwater Parks and Recreation, through the Aging Well Center at the Long Center location.
Yeah, there's some really robust centers over there. There's a lot of traffic of older adults coming in and out of there, and litany of good things happening there. Course length, how long is this course?
The course is a 16-week course that is done 3 times a week, and it is a 1-hour class.
Yeah. Is it a big class or is it a small class?
The great thing is there is no minimum, and it's a max up to 25 people in attendance.
Oh, okay, okay. And at one point in time, especially during COVID, they were offering that course virtually, I think. Do they still have that option to do things virtually?
Yes, yes. And that is a really nice aspect because you go in person, but as well, if you can't get there, it is available online through the YMCA.
That's a big benefit.
Partner.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's especially a big benefit for people that have schedules like Joanne. Joanne has manages multiple calendars, and she has to to take a look at those things. So in the monologue that I expounded on, we talked about falls prevention in there, and we also talked about chronic disease. It's a real issue around the United States, and Florida is obviously affected like it is nationally on there too. Do we do evidence-based programs that tackle or chronic disease or help people learn how to manage those?
Absolutely. It is called the Chronic Disease Healthy Living. It's a self-management program that helps people with those diseases in a preventable and proactive fashion so that they can maintain healthy living with those diseases.
Yeah, and is this something that we're currently offering, or is it something that's on our horizon that we're working to build our acumen on?
We're right around the corner in offering this. You probably will see this being available here shortly in 2023. Yeah.
I think you're right. I think we're really making great strides in building our acumen so we can provide these courses as well. And they were offered in the community for a while, and then they weren't. So we respect them that much where we want to continue all that good work that was occurring before.
Absolutely.
Yeah, class, not size so much, but the length of time. And I know that there are 3 different evidence-based courses that fall under that umbrella of disease management. What are the names of those courses again?
Yeah, there's the chronic disease program, there's the chronic pain program, and there's the diabetes management program.
And all of those programs are based upon understanding better how to manage those chronic diseases, correct?
Absolutely, and they're 6 weeks long.
6 weeks? That was my next question. Thank you for that.
Jump the gun.
That's okay. And it's important, I think, for people to really understand, what they're getting into. And certainly by calling the Area Agency on Aging or having a conversation with you, they would learn all that. information. But you know, I would be remiss if we didn't provide some of the overarching types of tenets of these programs too.
Right.
Is there limits on class sizes like the Savvy Caregiver program or the A Matter of Balance program at all?
Yes, so this is also attendees 8 to 12 people max.
8 to 12? That's a pretty good size, and it seems like it's very relevant to the smaller class size that the Savvy Caregiver program. So there is a little bit of interaction probably in this program, and that seems to be a little easier if you have a smaller class size.
Yes, absolutely.
Cost? How much are people going to take out of their pocket to spend on these chronic disease courses?
It's absolutely free for you.
Is it?
Yeah,
Because it's funded under the Older Americans Act again, huh?
that is correct.
Again, what a beautiful piece of legislation that really puts the monies in our hands to provide that in the community and then be able to offer that for free for folks that are 60 and older in here too. So let's talk about some little bit more aspects of that course, and I'll let you choose. You know, you can talk about the chronic disease self-management program or the chronic pain. What are some of the aspects of those programs, any of them?
So it targets chronic diseases ranging anywhere from sleep disorders to how to eat healthy, medication management, depression, just a slew of different commonalities in chronic diseases, high blood pressure, fatigue, pain, and it's done in a way that it helps people problem solve the risk or these chronic diseases, and through action plans in a collaborative fashion in the group to be able to apply the skills to be able to control these diseases and living healthy. And this is done in a way that when a person has an action plan and they see that it's not working or that they've put too lofty of a goal and they can't figure out how to be able to tackle that problem, that is opened up to the group if that person wants it to be, and we help each other. It's a wonderful collaboration and be able to get answers and apply the techniques, and the action plans are movable. So it's not as if you fail, it is more that you adjust and be able to succeed.
And as humans, I think we deserve to have some modifications in our life, and maybe not be so rigid on some of the things.
That's
so
right.
we can, yeah, we're totally flexible in here. Again, where are these courses offered?
So these are going to be offered also at the same types of locations that we want it to be places where seniors normally go. So your senior centers, your community centers, your recreation centers, and you never know, could even be in your own community.
That's awesome. It's really special to me to have you both on our show. It's been such a long time since we covered these programs on here. I think our audience got a really good take on what we're able to offer in the community. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah. We hope you enjoyed this month's broadcast. We also hope this episode sparked your interest to pursue these evidence-based programs. At the end of the show, you'll see contact information again, so get your pencil ready. We'll see you next month, and until then, please make every attempt to maximize these free resources.
Many of us don't want to believe that elder abuse, neglect, or exploitation can happen to a family member, a friend, or even ourselves. Elder abuse is a growing problem and is severely underreported. Many victims are reluctant to report due to fear, embarrassment, shame, or guilt. In order to prevent elder abuse, we must take action. Don't be afraid to talk about the issue and report it to the Florida Abuse Hotline at 1-800-962-2873. Together, we can make a difference.